Knowing your rights is an integral requirement of being an effective citizen of any state, and it starts at a very young age, by empowering the youth, something Play Africa is doing very well, and this is for the record. So Gretchen, let's talk about the My Constitution project. What is it all about?
My Constitution is a really exciting offering that Play Africa has developed, and we created it based on a program we started some years ago at Constitution Hill, which is where we're based. And over time, we worked with 3,000 or more children directly in these small workshops that use play and dialogue to teach children about the Constitution, about children's rights, and how to participate in a democracy. And this program was so successful and so well received that teachers and parents and children told us again and again they wanted to see this rolled out to every school in the country. There was a real sense that they were so lucky to participate in it, but they wanted more people to be able to experience it. So when COVID hit and we were looking ahead to the 25-year anniversary of the Constitution, we thought to ourselves, what could we do to help fulfill that dream of bringing this program to more children? And so we decided to develop a series of lesson plans and resources for teachers so that anyone can access these free resources and do this program in their own classroom.
Now, who is it geared towards exactly? Is it the educator or the learners? And how would it work?
Well, the children are really the true end beneficiaries of this program. And we see that when we've developed these resources for educators in grades 3, 4, 5, and 6. Those are the CAPS-aligned curriculum resources we've developed. We know that the reach there is about 4 million children potentially across this country. But the truth is the materials themselves are really aimed at the educators themselves so that they can roll out this program. And what we do is we lay out very, very clear objectives, timelines, suggestions of how to implement this program and suggestions about how to adapt it. We help remove the mental load for teachers because we know that teachers are time constrained, they're resource constrained. They want to do an incredible job in their classroom, but there is so much pressure on them coming from all sides. We said, well, let us create these resources that help give them clear objectives and clear ways to bring the Constitution to life in their classroom through play.
Now, what's been the support in terms of rolling out this project?
Well, this project is really fantastic because we've gotten some support from the Government of Canada through something called the Canada Fund for Local Initiatives. And that funding has helped us invest in the curriculum development and really bring in expert curriculum developers, the folks who can look at the CAPS curriculum and making sure that we're really meeting all the targets for teachers. And then we've been able to develop these resources with that support. But we've also done this really closely in partnership with Constitution Hill and sought, input from archival materials and their programming teams, just so that we can create a resource that feels truly like a national product based here in Johannesburg. And we've been able to develop that with the support of all these incredible thinkers and teachers and everybody who's kind of chipped in to make this a really amazing product.
And response from schools?
The response from schools has been fantastic. So many teachers say that they've never seen a curriculum resource like this that has had them in mind from start to finish. So we've tried to include a lot of really easy to use and easy to adapt suggestions. And we're showing like illustrations and we kind of map it all out so that, again, taking that mental load away from teachers so they don't have to carry all that thinking. They can just simply see, here's how I can do it. Here's some suggestions of how to adapt it. And so we're seeing that educators through high school are finding this really valuable, but even children, educators of children in grades 1 and 2 can find it valuable. It's truly a resource that we hope to be very, very flexible and easy to adapt for any teacher across the country, no matter what resources you have around you.
Now, what's interesting is it's also been launched on overseas. Why don't you tell us a bit more about that?
Sure. We're actually going to be featured in the Washington Post because there's been an interest as we're looking at democracy is coming under question around the world, and what we're seeing in Ukraine, what we're seeing across the world, that we can't take democracy for granted. And we see that creating resources for children and supporting educators to bring that that teaching to children is something that's actually in demand in many more places beyond South Africa. And so there's a real curiosity about how to create methodologies and curriculum resources for teachers to help amplify children's voice and help children figure out ways to make their voices heard in a democratic and constructive way. You know, the truth is, we want to make sure that every child feels seen, heard, and valued in our society. And we want to do that by channeling them to the right mechanisms to participate in a democratic society. If we don't tell children how to vote, how to make their voices heard in a courtroom setting, or how to make their voices heard in a peaceful demonstration, they may grow up to use other means to make their voice heard. And this is not what we want. We want to create these constructive mechanisms to make sure that democracy thrives for future generations.
Now let's bring it back home for a second. How can people get involved or at least engage with the program?
Well, we created these resources to be free for educators, and we wanted to remove as many barriers to access to this information as possible. So we put everything onto our website, and that includes ways to download these free curriculum resources for educators in grades 3, 4, 5, and 6, anywhere across South Africa. It's free for all teachers. And if you want to just download those resources and adapt them to older or younger grades, you can do so. We also include a whole other set of 4 resources that includes extension activities. So even if you don't find that the formal program is something you want to do, or you want to build on that, you can use these extension activities and just tap into playful learning experiences in your classroom. But one of the most exciting things is that we've also developed 4 sets of videos for teachers to see how this program works in action. So again, you know, not relying on you to read this information and then interpret it and then put it into place. You can also see how it's used, and you can kind of get a glimpse of what that looks like in these videos on our website. By putting it all on our website, we thought, this is great. It's free for everybody. Everyone can access it. But the truth of the matter is, many people don't have data on their phones, or they might only have a WhatsApp bundle. They might be far from a very reliable internet resource, but they might have access to a low-cost cell phone. And so we realized that there was actually another way to reach these teachers. And we developed a WhatsApp chatbot where teachers can automatically, at any time of day, day or night, engage with this WhatsApp chatbot on the WhatsApp platform and ask for the resources to be sent to them via WhatsApp. So they can get access within a matter of seconds to these resources in their hand, wherever they are in the country. So if you're in rural Lusiki, Siki, Eastern Cape, or if you're in Northern Limpopo and you don't have access to internet in your school, or even a reliable source of printing to be able to print out the materials, you can download them within seconds through this chatbot, which we think is a really exciting way to use technology to make children's rights and human rights education really accessible.
For you, at the end of the day, what do you hope this program will achieve?
We hope it's going to achieve the end result of children feeling that they understand what the Constitution is and its relevance in their life. We hope that it's going to help children see the importance of children's rights and responsibilities to ensure other people's rights are being met. And we really hope to help children see how to participate in a democratic society in meaningful ways through voting, through engaging in a courtroom setting, by making their voice heard, by speaking up for the issues that they care about. That's what we really want to see. We want to see girl children see that they have equal rights to their boy counterparts. We want people to feel a sense of empowerment. And what we're seeing is that end result. But one of the knock-on effects that we weren't expecting to see is just how much it was going to be empowering for teachers too. Because teachers have told us again and again that they didn't have this kind of education when they were growing up, and they wish that someone had taken the time to really help them understand what the power and the potential of the Constitution is and its relevance in their life. So I think educators are finding this whole experience very transformative as well.